This right here is the MK box from MAGEGEE, and this right here is the RAKK Pluma. Today I will show you why the RAKK Pluma is actually an investment over the MK box. Today's video will have quite a different layout because I'm using my cell phone to record, and so far I think it's just okay. It makes my face look a lot smoother than it actually is. So before we begin, let's first talk about the cons of the 65% layout. The first con is that it does not have a print screen button, which a lot of you are looking for, so you're gonna have to settle with Windows Shift S. The second con you're gonna want to watch out for is that the RAKK Pluma and the MK box does not have media keys. So if you need media keys to stop, play, pause, whatever it is you're watching, you're not gonna be able to do that on the RAKK Pluma. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, with a 65% layout, you're not gonna have a menu key. Now let's head over to the pros of the RAKK Pluma. The MK box does not state its polling rate, but the RAKK Pluma advertises a 1000 Hz polling rate. I believe it's a 1000 Hz polling rate via wired connection. I'm not sure if that has the same polling rate when in Bluetooth connection. But anyways, you're not going to be gaming with Bluetooth, right? Today's video is brought to you by Nathaniel Regino. Thank you for requesting for this video. We wouldn't have this information without you. I am digging the layout of the MK box a little bit more than that of the Pluma because you can save an inch of space on your desk. Now, for the lighting, you can see Pluma has RGB, MK box has only one color. Okay, so now since we're talking about lighting, let's talk about how balanced the lighting is for each key. You can see that the Enter key is quite imbalanced for that of the MK box. Even the Shift key, the eye doesn't light. But if you can see, the balance of the RGB and the lighting of that of the Pluma is just very good. Oh yes, and let me remind you that the keycaps you get with the Pluma are PBT, while the keycaps you get for the MK box are ABS. As for the shape of their body, you will see that the MK box has more of an angled shape, a thinner form factor here going upwards, thicker up here, while the Pluma has a more balanced with just a little bit of elevation on the upper side. Now, I dig that of the Plumas more because you can lay it a bit flat on your desk, which is something I prefer. So as for the layout and basic aesthetics, I would go for the Pluma. Now, as for the build quality, I dig that of the Pluma more because the Pluma has got more weight in it, and that is because of its battery inside. This right here is the braided USB-C cable that you get with the RAKK Pluma. This right here is the generic cable that you get with the MK box. Now let me give you my thoughts on the stabilizers of them both. I would say they're just a match, and that is because both of them are at the budget level of clickety-clackety stabilizers. Then again, they're budget keyboards. Now let's talk about the feet, and here's where things get interesting. You look at the feet of that of the Pluma, it's got some rubber wrapped around it. In other words, the rubber stays there and is firm. Let's head over to the MAGEGEE. You will see that the rubber has already mismatched from its actual position, right? And that's because the tape they used to stick in the rubber is not very strong. Now there's dog hair in it. So although they have the same level of stabilizers, they're not the best, they're a little cringy, but still, I would still dig the build quality of the Pluma a bit more because of the feet, and I use the feet of my keyboards. Switches on the MK box are branded Jexian, while the switches on the RAKK Pluma are branded Autemus. In that case, I would choose Autemus. I just believe in their brand a bit more than that of the Jexian. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that the RAKK Pluma is hot swappable, while the MK box is soldered in. It's just quite unfortunate that I couldn't compare the sounds of both of these keyboards because I've already modded my MK box for my girlfriend. I've added in a foam and I've replaced the switches with Autemus silvers. Before we head on to my final thoughts, let me give this short message to RAKK Gear's keyboard designers. Tumalsiklaway ko. Anyways, the on and off switch is right here. It's under. In other words, we're gonna have to lift this keyboard off our desks and then turn the switch on. I think it would be best if you had placed it here at the side or at the back of the keyboard. Next time. The RAKK Pluma is a bit more expensive than the MAGEGee MK box. But let me tell you why it's more of an investment if you're buying the MAGEGee MK box. And that is because the RAKK Pluma has Bluetooth connectivity. Another thing, the RAKK Pluma has a software. Another thing, the RAKK Pluma supports Mac layout. The RAKK Pluma has a lot of pros, a lot of pluses over a lot of 65% keyboards that I've looked at online. And I would say RAKK Pluma is the actual best keyboard when it comes to 65% layouts. If you've got some questions, comment it down below. Do you like this format? Let me know. Don't you like this format? Let me know. This is Biboyharanero. I'll see you guys next time.